talk about something that happened last week. So basically, it's down to somebody being dyslexic and somebody being autism, and being bullied because they have autism. Um, and I think that's a very very sad excuse for anybody to be doing to be bullying somebody just because they're autistic or because they're dyslexic. And it's happened to me before. I had to listen to somebody's dribble once before for about 10 minutes saying so excuse to have on this planet. And I had to listen to him abusing me for 10 minutes, and then at the end of it, just said, "It's your opinion." Because as a public figure, you have to listen to that dribble. And this person wasn't well. Simple standard. That was now, be very, very different tone of events. Because he basically got offered. Because I didn't really do much, and my sister, and if it was now, I probably would do a lot. But yeah, so this is all happened. So it basically happened down in the country. I'm not going to say whereabouts, but long story short is they involved the local. They went to the local guards. They went to the local county councillor, and obviously I heard about it, and went and see what happens, to see what was happening. Obviously, because I had a funny had knew about a bit of it, and I talk about it a bit more. I won't say whereabouts. I want to try and keep it as much. I don't want to be exposing the case or anything like that. Because this is probably still going on. It's probably still going down the tracks and the courts and this, that, and the other. So I just want to say straight away, like what he said to this young child, what this person said, because he was over 30, the person was caught for it. And he was caught, which is the great part of this. Because he was an anonymous account on whatever app it was, I don't know what app it was, but it was anonymous. He said he was so excuse for somebody on this out. And people like you, and I think he said people like you shouldn't be on this out. And that's a horrible thing to say to anybody. Especially when you don't even know them, and you just get going after them because they all have autism. And this is what you have to do. And the same with Down syndrome. I heard, it was in Cavan actually, this case. Someone who's being abused because they're Down syndrome. And again, these people who done this with the scum of the earth. Picking on people that are vulnerable and picking on people that can't fight back really. I have no time for them. As simple as that, I go through them. And that's the only way you get through them, is you go through them. You don't go for the court system, you just go through them. Because the court system in this country is a joke. It won't recognise how much harm, because this person took it very seriously, this young child took it seriously. And that's a horrible thing. To be even saying to anybody at all, a random person in the streets, how you don't want to say anything like that. But it comes down to what I'm trying to say here. At least the person was caught. The guards traced him and obviously got him and then amassed him, if that makes any sense. And obviously he was named and shamed on his hotel and lost his job and everything, which is great. Because that's proper order, and hopefully he faces justice. Hopefully he faces justice, because he won't be able to live in that town he grew up in, because they named and shamed him to hell. And that's the right way. Just name and shame him and make his name worth shit. And everywhere he goes, nobody would want to know him. Nobody wanted to see him. Nobody wanted to hear from him. To my extent, I would need to revoke his citizenship to say, "Oh, you're nobody. You're anonymous. Nobody cares about you." Because that's the only way you get through to these people. That they're making them for their crimes. It's just isolate them. Because what they did. What that person did, adjust the justice system won't even do anything about you. Only for his name and shame his local town. That'd probably be the only thing that be done. But in fairness, I give the guards a bit of credit here, because they did trace it down, which is great. They did trace him down, which obviously I'm sure everybody would say fair play to the guards. They got him and unmasked him and got him. Which is obviously good. That's the good part of the story, because he thought he'd get off with it, and nobody would be able to get him. But it just goes to show you that you can be traced. But yeah, it's just a horrible thing. It's a really, really horrible thing to say to anybody. And again, to say to people, anybody bullying anybody because of special needs or anything like that, straight away I would say to people, report them. Anyway, take care everybody, and bye.